Hi and welcome to a new section of the course, and this section is all about optimization. As an artist in the games industry, you're going to be given very sort of not strict but very rigid guidelines on how to create your art, and the reason being is that the game needs to sort of maintain a good frame rate. So there's a lot of tricks in the games industry that we use to keep the frame rate, and some of them are art related, some of them are not. For example, the next two lectures are going to focus on level of detail, and what level of detail does is the further away you get from the object will reduce in polygons. So when it's at its furthest point, it's using a lot less geometry than it would be when you're close to it. And that way the engine doesn't have to render so much, and it keeps the frame rate. These numbers up in the top right here, so this frames per second, you can see mine's well above 60, which is good, but you want to maintain that across the board really. And so if you look around this forest here, I'm standing in this forest, those trees way off in the distance there would be at their lowest polygon count at this point in time, whereas these quite close up would be at the highest. So that's what level of detail is, and we're going to tackle that first. I'm going to show you how to do that in the next two lectures. There's other ways we can keep the speed up. There's occlusion. It's not really art related, but I may do a lecture on that just to show you, because it's really good to have an idea on how engines work, and Unity has a really good occlusion system in it. And what that does is anything it can't see, so if I'm looking down here, anything off to the out of the viewport from to the right and the left, it will occlude and it will not render. And also, if I'm looking through this object here now, like if I'm standing against this tree, anything behind that's completely covered by the tree will also get occluded. It won't get rendered as well. But you just have to tag all the objects in your scene to tell the engine to do that. And most of them are anyway. But so I might just show you that in a later lecture. Plus there's the usual reducing polygons in really high resolution objects that you don't see very often, or you only see at a distance. And that's partly the reason why I only use the painted trees up on the cliffs, for example. Up there, they're the standard Unity ones. You're not going to get that close to them, so it doesn't really matter too much. And they are sort of perfect for that, but I wouldn't use them down here where you're going to stand right next to them and see them close up. So let's move on. Let's get this started, and let's go and create some LODs. I'll see you in the next lecture.